Hey Cougars, we got Assistant Principal Mr. Joplin here. He's gonna walk through what orientation is gonna look like August 25th through August 28th. So first thing I wanna do is show you the parking situation. You'll park on the west side of the building just to give you orientation. There's the Spirit Rock. Once you do, you can line up. We're gonna do a social distancing line along the wall right here. So Mr. Joplin, go ahead and come forward. First thing, you have to have a mask on and you do need to get your temperature checked. He's good. Go ahead, Mr. Joplin. He's gonna make his way through the theater lobby, which is gonna be our backup plan if it's raining outside. We'll still be able to do a line here and keep our social distancing of at least 6 feet. And then we'll be able to set up the temperature check down at the other end of the hallway here where we have an exit in case someone has a fever. Assuming everybody's good and you have a mask on and your temperature is good, then you make your way through these doors right here into the main building. Once inside the main building, the first thing you're going to do is pick up your handbook, and you will also get your schedule. And you can see our counselors are here. So is Assistant Principal Mrs. Lewo. And they'll be able to help with scheduling conflicts. These are not personal convenience changes. These are if you're missing a class or if you have 2 classes scheduled in the same period, those kind of conflicts. So Mr. Joplin's schedule looks pretty good. If not, a counselor might take him over here into the counseling office, which is right around the corner. But since his schedule's good, he's gonna keep walking past the pit area of Commons here, which you'll get to know well, over towards our media center. You're gonna see when he rounds the corner, before he enters the media center, there's 2 more things he can take care of if he needs to. This is Mrs. Edwards, number 1. He can buy a parking pass. She's also selling decals for Cougar heads and that kind of thing. And we will also have a table set up for Interact t-shirts and payments if you signed up for Interact. So once he gets his parking pass, he's gonna make his way into the media center. You're doing great, Mr. Joplin. And we're gonna head over here towards the Chromebooks and Mrs. Hebner. Mrs. Hebner will be here making sure you have a Chromebook if you're new to Sylvania schools, or if you had an issue with your Chromebook at the end of last year, you can pick up a Chromebook here. You can also make your way over towards this lab. I know I lost you, Mr. Joplin, and this is where we'll do our OneView forms. Thank you to those of you who've done it already. We have about 200 families left to do the OneView form. You can sit down at a computer and start working on that. Mrs. Denman, who's right here, she'll help you with that. This is where we get our emergency and medical information. We get consent forms, like things for internet access. And we also set up your email accounts for when we do blasts to the whole families. It's called the Instant Connect system, so we want that to be accurate. Once Mr. Joplin's done with that, he's gonna make his way out the back of the media center, which is over here. And now he's ready to do a walkthrough of his schedule, which is probably the main reason most of you are coming. You get to meet and greet all of your teachers, and you also get to pick up any supplies they might have for remote learning. This is not a time for in-depth conversations with the teachers. That's better handled through an email or a message in Schoology. Our hallways are gonna be directional by side this year, and you can see Mr. Joplin's coming up to a cone. He's gonna use that like a roundabout and make sure he stays to the right of the cone and head toward the main office. I notice as we pass here, these lockers, I wanna remind everybody or let everybody know, we assign the lockers randomly by the AB grouping this year, which means you may not be right next to someone in your class, and we also used every other locker, so you certainly won't be right next to anybody, and that's to reduce congregating. On the yellow plan, we will allow a backpack, but when we go back to green, it'll go back to the old rules. Assuming you finished your entire schedule, you'd make your way to these main doors here, but before you do, you can head into the office. Go ahead there, Mr. Joplin. There's 2 more things you can do. If you have any fees or fines that still need paid, that'd be Mrs. Kozlowski over at the records office. Show us where that is, Mr. Joplin. Mrs. Kozlowski will be here during the orientation days. And if you're a senior, like Mr. Joplin is, he's the mayor of Southview, so he's always a senior. He gets to pay his senior activities fee. He can also do a senior ad and all that other good senior stuff here with Mrs. Smith. Once he takes care of anything you might need to do as a senior, he's gonna make his way out the main office door and out these main doors. And if you don't know the building, you will realize that now you've kind of come full circle. You won't be too far away from where you parked your car, hopefully on the other side of these flagpoles right here. So just want to say welcome to Southview, everyone. We'll see you at orientation days, August 25th through August 28th. And go Cougars!